and we're ready to go. All right, thanks. All right, bye.
Oh my God.
Is it running now? Yes. Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Back from the dead, giving us good, positive encouragement and advice meant to encourage the masses. Stay with it and hit it, folks.
Yes.
How dare you?
Oh man.
Hey,
Oh,
did you catch my spiel at the beginning?
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious, man. I was sitting there just talking away, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh wow, we're not even live streaming yet.
Well, it's still got recorded like when because I started recording just so I don't forget it. You know,
Right.
so it's still a part of that. So it's like it's in there.
Yeah, you use that part if you will. I mean, if you want to, that's fine.
Yeah, because nobody could hear me as it was going on because I had myself
I couldn't
muted.
hear you at all.
Yeah. So I said I better start the music so Ellen at least know I'm here. Oh man.
Well, all right. Well, now that we're live, top of the morning, afternoon, evening, top of the time zone to everybody in the world that is watching us on Innervision FM.
Yes.
How's everybody doing? How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing fantastic. I haven't checked the phone messaging, but I put the number out there on the at noon when I uploaded the topics for tonight. So I put the number out there, so people feel free to call that number, leave your voicemail, and then I'll probably check it tomorrow since we started it Monday. So I'll give you a chance to leave your voicemail. We did get an email from this person named Zoe. Wanted to know more about Innervision. So I sent back some information. So we'll see if that helps. This person named Zoe.
All right. That phone number for those that haven't maybe haven't the ability to look at it. That's going to be 720-324-7278. Is that right?
That is exactly right. And it's in the top of our description. And I also I changed a little bit about the description that you will see on the night. It's like I used to say, like, people ask me, how can you support
Innervision FM?
Innervision FM. So so my computer kept saying you should put a number in there. So I said, oh, okay. So I put like how many subscribers you have. So I said 29 people have asked me. So,
that's pretty cool. The algorithms are kind of hitting our stream a little bit. We're not getting as many views as we would like. So if you like what we talk about, make sure to like that. And if you are of a mind, share it. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that.
And also, there's somebody who speaks another language, and I'm almost afraid to put it in the translator because I got a real surprise when I did it this other time.
Google Translate sometimes doesn't quite get it right.
No, this one got it a lot right. I mean, and the guy, and my IRA guy said I can't read that, so I had to let him go and say, let me read this, and then because it was somebody who it sounded like they wanted to know more about the show. They said, how'd you make it through COVID and all that kind of stuff? And so I sent back an email saying, oh, we went fine. And my wife's name is in there. And so she comes back with all these expletives towards Natalia and said, I didn't write you. And I'm thinking like, who is this?
Whoa.
And I'm like, so I'm almost afraid to put in what this person says, but Eventually I will. I'm not sure if it's Spanish or Russian or what.
I do have a working knowledge. I'm not fluent in them yet, but maybe one day before I die, I don't know. But I can speak Spanish a little bit, German, French, Italian. So,
well,
I might be able to help you out with that once I get closer to where you're at, man.
Yeah, I'll send it to you because it says, because I have this thing that says there's a comment on your show, and then it's in like the name of the person. You just hit like what is this? It's called. You hit respond, and then it takes you to whatever the person says. So either if you know if it's a language that you can't speak, but you understand that it's either Italian or Russian or whatever, we could put it in the Google Translator and find out who it is or what they're saying.
Russian, I'm not so good with.
No, the Google does it. They're handle it, and then we can respond back in their language. I guess I don't know because I put my thing in English, so I'm only looking for English speaking people. So
well, I mean, yeah, we want to definitely be inclusive. That is one thing that I've got to say that Republicans and Democrats all can agree upon is the idea that, well, we are. Well, I wouldn't say we're one global community, but we are one global community because we do live on this planet together, and we do got to make this work one way or the other.
Yes, and eventually, people. Sometimes I will bring up Skype, but I got to figure out how to shut it down real quickly if people get crazy, right? So
right.
So they say to have keyboard commands where I can answer calls and then stop calls, but I got to practice with that a little bit.
Man, I'll tell you what. Well, if you want, man, before I move, I've got about 10 days here. We can set up time. I mean, I know you're super busy, and I'm super not busy. But in between my scholastic things and whatever you got going on, I'm sure we could set something up.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all right. It's just a matter of signing in and then using the keyboard commands to say, answer the call, because I have it set on like where it automatically answers the call, but I want to also be able to just say, okay, your time is over. Click the call off as well. Right. So yeah.
What would be really cool is to just have a bona fide moderator, third person to jump on and do it that way. But hey,
I'm working on it.
Now we got lots of stuff. You want to make some money? You want to make $1,000? I'll tell you what, we're going to cover that. We've got a couple other topics that we're going to cover that are somewhat political things. Yeah. Where do you want to start?
Well, let people don't forget about the 13 American soldiers that their death was caused by the debacle of Biden, and then 7 children. We're
coming up on day 66, almost day 67 since the stuff happened here.
Yeah, and they're gonna pay and bring the family members, extended families of the 7 children and the workers that were working for us, that the Taliban said kill those people, and without blinking an eye, we said, oh, we can trust the Taliban, and so they're gonna, I guess, pay them, their families, and bring them to America, which is I don't know, I don't know, that's kind of bizarre, but anyway, that's what I hear they're gonna do. So we got that in the. And
very interesting.
Yeah, and this it was a show that was done, and what the Democrats are doing to the parents of children in school is turning off their base. Okay? Remember, the suburban housewives were saying, "Oh, Trump is too mean" and all that kind of stuff. Now they're dealing with the docile, clueless regime of this guy Biden, and they're seeing that the DOJ is going after them as if they're criminals, and saying we can do whatever we want with your kids, and you just have to shut up and take it. And it's turning off a lot of women who are parents.
Wonder why that is. I just love having my Uncle Sam overwatching and overviewing everything that I've got to say, do, or think. I just love it. Oh man, there's nothing better
No.
that I'm monitored no matter what I do.
Right. Oh, and
Can
this
I
is yeah, I know. And so I don't know how far they're going to take this thing, or how is he going to try to get some more money and throw money at the people, saying, here's another couple of $1,000s for everybody here, free money, which is really not free.
Oh no, it's not
Yeah. I don't know. Is the rating right now, if you believe polls, is that 38%?
Yeah, I've seen 32. I've seen 33. I've seen 36. I've seen that 38% poll. The bottom line is this guy's underwater, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if it's unfortunate. There's this that, Trump warned us. He said, hey, this guy is not who he is, who he says he is. He's a wolf and he's a sheep. No, let's say a wolf in sheep
He's a wolf
clothing.
in sheep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's absolutely right.
Hey, and I didn't have this on our list. You heard what Dennis Prager, talk show host Dennis Prager, has done?
No.
Okay, I didn't think about this. Okay, he said that intentionally he was out to get the COVID, and so he hugged, he shook strangers' hands, and then so he finally got it. And he's doing the vitamin C, vitamin D, the other preventive things, the antibiotics, and he seems to be doing well. I hear that he's a very tall guy, kind of like heavy guy, he's an older guy. But what I have to say about this is there was a COVID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm pretty sure, because I was single at that time, I did a lot of things I could have caught, a lot of COVID. And that was at least yeah. And so
why we have a loving Savior that forgives us and gives us lots and lots.
So okay. So for Mr. 19, okay, he was out there. But what was happening during 18, 17, 16, and 15? So all these other announcers say, well, I don't agree with them, and Peter Bowles in the morning is saying, well, I got 2 friends who didn't take the jab and they're very sick. And I said, I'm so tempted to call the show and say, I didn't take the jab, got it last December. So what? Things happen.
That's interesting, because I've had a lot of friends that have contracted the thing. I think maybe I've been fortunate in not getting it. Now, on the other hand, though, November of 2019, I got super sick, man. My light bulb in my Easy Bake Dream Oven was about ready to burn out. I'll tell you that right now. And they diagnosed me with pneumonia, but it was like no pneumonia I've ever had.
But they were talking about this like in October of 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was out there. I have a feeling it was out there, but they just wasn't letting it known that it was there.
Right.
So it wasn't politically relevant to let people know. And while Nancy was dancing around in Chinatown and doing. Oh, do you remember, like when they were saying, like, people were not going to the Chinese restaurants, and said, "Don't be like that," And of course, I was kind of ignorant because it's almost like, okay, it came from their country, but what does that have to do with their restaurants here in America, right? So it was a silliness that went on for a little while, where people had to say, "Oh, I got to tell you this little story." I used to go to Texas when I was younger and stuff like that, and down in Texas there's roaches.
Flying roaches, big flying roaches, dude. They got flying roaches down there.
And my mother's friend, she wanted to prove to us that her pans didn't have roaches on it. So she says she grabs a pan and she puts put some melanin in there, say, see, the pan is clean. And I'm thinking like, I don't know, cousin, somebody, whatever. But she was kind of convinced me that, don't worry about roaches and stuff like that.
Sure.
My pans are clean. So it seemed
Right.
like it reminded me of when that was going on. And she was kind of convinced us because we hadn't seen like flying roaches ever before in Colorado.
Thank God, man. That got
Oh,
for
man.
sure, man.
It
Those
was
things
like,
are
wow.
scary, man. I ain't afraid of bugs, man, but those things are scary.
Oh yeah, and we even saw like one of these. It was a black bug with green glowing eyes. I said, man, this a wonderland out there. But I don't know. Anyway, so Prager, he has the COVID. He's tested positive, and he was here a couple of Thursdays ago at the cigar place doing this come meet with Prager and all that kind of stuff. And so they said, now we're going to do tracing to see how many people did Prager kill, because he didn't tell people that he had COVID or whatever, or he didn't know. I said, oh man, please. So 9 News, Sport Coat Boy is going to be out there doing his propaganda, as well as other left-wing bending news. And I didn't put that in there. But it's just, it's like I heard about it this morning, and it should have been topic number 4.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
But let's get to let's get on the
we talked
fun
a little
one.
bit about the Afghanistan. We talked a little bit about the fact that we don't want to forget those folks.
Yeah.
The idea being that the Taliban gave us a target, and we went ahead and hit that target, and that target ended up being 7 kids and 3 aid workers. I gotta say, I don't know, man. If that's absolutely true, if Bob over here said to Bill, "Hey, Bill, go over there and take care of these folks for me," and they end up being just a bunch of innocent folks that don't even need to be involved, I'd be kind of mad at Bob and Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Something similar. There used to be this TV show called Empire, and this lady, Lucia's girlfriend or ex-wife, she was getting this rose, and she thought it was a rose from this one gangster to say that, hey, I'm in charge, but it's really Lucius was just telling her like he wanted to get back with her, and so she went and had this gangster, even though he was a bad gangster, had him blown away because she thought that he was coming after her, and she was kind of called to tell the guy that the don't make the hit, but of course it was too late.
It was too late.
And he already made the hit, right?
Man. Oh man!
I remember that. So
that's the idea that if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, and that's really what we're boiling down to here. Is if you've got a president that's underwater, continually making decisions that allegedly are not for the American people. American people soon enough are going to wake up and say, hey, no more. We don't need this.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give away some money.
Yeah. I call Jesus Morales in California, Orange County, I guess it is, or
it was there in California. Along the beach area, like we see a lot of the vendors and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was, I guess he first started it on his own, like giving out like $100 bills.
Hey, wow.
Right. And it felt so good. And he loved the reaction of the people and stuff like that, that I guess he set it up a GoFundMe kind of donation kind of thing. And so now it's up to like $1,000. And one person, the people were so touched by the guy's story, because I guess it was a guy in a wheelchair and he was, a vendor and whatever, that they donated more, and he gave the guy $4,000 more dollars.
Holy smoke. Holy smoke. And so what would happen if Innervision FM were to walk up to you, as an entity, I suppose, or in person in the case of Johnny Johnson.
Yeah.
If we were to if Innervision FM were to walk up to you today and say, "Hey, we got $1,000 for you," what would you do with that money? Where would you spend that?
Yeah, and you can make that happen. Go to paypal.me/Innervision Denver, paypal.me/Innervision Denver, and we'll do like 50-50, 50 to the Innervision, and then 50 to one of the people out there, or we can set up where you call in and you tell us your story, and we'll pick out people like that. I mean, there's many ways we could do it, There's many ways.
I'm just a cog in a wheel, so I'll just, whatever you got to do and however you want to do it, why, we'll push that together. Hit it 720-324-7278 and go ahead and leave your voicemail. Tell us your story, or info@innervisionfm.com is our email. It's info@innervision.com.
So what would you do if somebody walked up to you and just said, when I was in California, I was in downtown Los Angeles, and some guy just came and just pressed $5 in my hand. And I said, well, what's this for? And then he's, he just walked away and said, hey, that's just a blessing for you. That happened one time when I was in my 20s. Then, like a few years ago, I was sitting at the bus stop and I was drinking some ice water. It was a hot day. And I finished the water, but I didn't want to throw, most people would just throw the cup on the ground, right? So I said, no, I'm gonna wait until I get to a trash can. I said, I'm waiting until I get a trash can. Somebody came up and put some money in my cup. And I said, wow, what's going on here? It's like, I'm just holding the cup because I don't want to litter. And I guess most people just, throw the cup on the ground or whatever. But so those are the two times I can remember getting surprised like that.
That's funny that you bring that up. Being blind, that happens a lot more than what people think. They think that blind people actually need that extra help. Now, that may be true. Now, I will tell you, one time I was in McDonald's with my children, and they were young, and some person walked up and gave me what I thought was $1, and I just kind of stuck it. I don't want that. I don't want that. No. And he's like, just take it. And so I stuck the $1 in my pocket. I got home with my kids, and I says, hey, showed it to my wife at the time. And she says, that's not $1. That's $100. Did somebody screw you over on some money? That's $100 bill. And I says, holy moly. So I gave her the idea, I gave her the lowdown that, hey, no, this guy just dropped by, he saw me ordering food with me and my kids, or our kids, I should say. And they just handed me $100. Same type of thing happened right after my divorce, man. I'm sitting there. I had nothing, zero, nothing, and not even a place to live. And I'm watching my kids, and I'm staying at my friend's place for a couple of days till I get my poop in a group. And I tell you what happened, man. This guy, shout out to Gary. I can't give the last name, but shout out to Gary if ever you listen to this and you remember this. He says, my name's Gary, and he gave me the full name. And I says, hey there, Mr. Doe. John Doe, hey there, Mr. Doe. I'm just out, hanging out with my kids, and I just got a divorce. And, oh man, things really suck. And he says, hey, it's Christmas time here. And he gives me a couple of gift cards. One had $92 on it, and another had something or other else on it. It was enough to buy my children bicycles. And I was just like, whoa, man, God is so good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, where are you with that, Johnny? Because man, when I don't want to take that money when people do that, but then on the other hand, God Himself says, "Hey, don't rob them of their blessing. Don't tell them no. Spend that one. Do the right thing with what they're giving you. Don't go buy a pack of cigarettes and whatever.
Yeah.
Do the right thing."
And I think I told you the story before. I was 21. I was with the Um, I just spoke up with this lady, and my friends introduced me to this lady, and she was terrible with her money. I mean,
Right.
I think I only brought out like maybe a couple $100. And so she had went through her money, and I don't know what I forgot what she was doing with the money. I mean, she just we would do stupid things like, okay, the store is around the corner. She would call what was back then it was called Dollar Light, but it's now called Assessor Cab, and it only cost a quarter then. And I said, well, she said, let's go to the store. I said, oh, okay, I was getting ready to go walk. I got my K. She says, no, we're going to call Dollar Light. So we're getting Dollar Light. I'm thinking we're going to go far. We go around the corner, and pick up something. So we had ran out of money, and we only had potatoes. And I tell you, man, I found out so many different ways of how to fix potatoes.
Sure.
You know, potatoes, piece of bread and jelly, potatoes, mashed potatoes, French fried potatoes, boiled potatoes, and all the other. And then I had this junk in my pocket. So I was gonna, throw it in the toilet. And then she had enough sight where she could see things like peripheral vision. And she said, Johnny, what is that you just threw in the toilet? And I said, oh, it's just some paper. And she lifted it up and she said, Johnny, that's $100 bill. I had no idea. I just wadded up in my pocket. I had $100 bill in my pocket. It had to be gone. I mean, come on.
Time. That's the funniest thing ever, man. I tell you, I lost a wallet one time in an outhouse. I will tell you that wallet's probably still sitting at the bottom of that outhouse.
Oh man, yeah. So it's like, so this guy, what's his name? Jesus Morales. He's out there, and I guess his TikTok. He's on TikTok. His TikTok went up from, I guess, a couple of maybe a couple of 20 people to like three. I think it's like 300,000 people or something to that effect. It had a 3 in it. So people love watching him give money, and they donate just so they can see him give money to people out in California. So we need somebody do that for Innervision, and we'll pass out the money here in Denver. And I'll be straight up with you. Okay, half will go to people, and then half will go to our nonprofit, of course. Now he may be doing 100%. I don't know. He's doing it, and he's probably getting because he got so many people viewing. He's probably getting money from the TikTok, which he's making money off of that, and so he doesn't need any of the donation. Now, if we get blessed like that, and we get 300,000 people, or 300, a million, or several million people, hey, right. we could do the same thing and say, hey, 100% of this donation, we'll just give it away. And I was reading in Luke today about this rich man came up to Jesus and says, "What do I have to do to enter into the kingdom of heaven?" Jesus said, love thy God with all your heart and your neighbor as yourself. And said, "I've done all these things since I was young." And says, "You need to do one more thing: sell all of your possession and give it to the poor." And the guy said, "Wait a minute. That's a little bit too serious." and he walked away sad. And then Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "It's difficult for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven." I said, "What?"
It's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle. Is I think the idea is that Jesus was basically making an illustrative point that indicates that so many people are so caught up with their riches and they're what they have to haves that they forget about the main thing, that Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's the one that provides everything anyway. It's all his.
And man, we're totally out of time, but we have fun with this. So what would you do with somebody walking up to you? Leave it in our Dropbox 720-324-7278 and our info@innervisionfm.com. So we'll talk about that at a later date. All right.
Have a fun show tomorrow, folks.
All right. God bless.